Thanks, Ann. It is November 9th. This is the Broadwater County Commissioners' General Business Meeting. We will call this meeting to order. Please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, this meeting will follow Robert's Rules of Order. This is just some housekeeping. The purpose of the Broadwater County Public Meeting Policy is to open these meetings to all citizens of the county. We have a fiscal and fiduciary responsibility to conduct county business as efficiently as possible for all our residents. Our meetings are recorded and are on YouTube, so please state your full name prior to public comment for the record. Any separate conversations should be held outside in the hallway. Outbursts will not be tolerated, and all comments should be directed to the board chair. So with that, we will go ahead and get started with our agenda this morning. First order of business is review time cards. What we have, Franklin, are several time cards from department heads. And what I was thinking is, since we haven't come up with a policy that divides them, that all three of us should go ahead and sign each. Are you in agreement?
These are from the department heads, right?
Correct.
I don't know why we have to be signing them.
Well, we had that meeting with Michelle about 2 weeks ago. It's now part of the personnel policies.
And I said the same thing then. We don't have any idea what the department heads know what's going on. We don't know how many, there's 20-some employees over there. We don't know how long they work, whether it's up to the department head there. Same with the road crew. Don't have any idea how many hours the road crew, different ones have got.
This is department heads, not the road crew, and it's not the deputies. Then we went over this in some detail, Franklin. This is just the department heads, and what this is a check and balance. And what it is part of our job as supervisors. So are you not in agreement?
Well, I'll go through them this one time, see what all's taking place.
Okay.
I'm probably not in agreement.
Okay. I've reviewed these already. I'll go ahead and let you, and I'll ask you to sign them as well as one of the Broadwater County Commissioners and supervisors of these employees. And we have the employees from the Department of Public Health in here as well, and that is because we are their supervisors until we have a public health nurse hired.
No, Mr. Franklin. I'm just gonna leave this. I was gonna stay, but the antibiotics the doctor gave me was like doing a number on my stomach. I ain't sticking around.
Okay. Thank you.
comments, Franklin?
No, I guess they're okay.
All right, are you gonna sign them as a commissioner?
No.
Okay, any comments as to why?
Who's this person here? It's Shirley Hamaker. Who's
She's
that?
an employee, funded by a grant under the Public Health Department.
I just didn't know recognize the name at all, that's why I asked.
Okay, I asked you if you would, please sign the cards per the personnel policy per instructions from our HR consultant. You are declining officially.
Yes,
Do you want to make a statement at all about that?
not this time.
All right, let the record show that Commissioner Slivka refuses to follow the personnel policy and MCA regarding supervision of employees and signing of timesheets. Okay, so we have a few minutes. It's 9:45. Since we are in regular session, even though we started a little bit early, we'll go ahead and continue. We do have minutes for November 2, 2015. These were sent out. Franklin, what say you? Franklin, I put the ball in your court. Do you have any comments? Okay, I would entertain a motion. Are you going to decline to motion to approve the minutes?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, mail. We have a letter from the City of Townsend and the Tree Board requesting their annual PILT payment of $2,000. In order to follow through with that, we should go ahead and put that on the agenda. We also have a rundown of the Shogia loan for Wheatland Meadow Turn Lane. It's got all the payments attached, as well as letters, and it shows the interest that's been paid thus far. This was a requirement of NBT. And the county so far has netted $14,163 on this loan. And that's from Doug's office. We also have timesheets. We reviewed timesheets today for just department heads, not for employees, not for electeds. This is a timesheet, Franklin. You'll need to sign that to get paid, and I'll make sure that Elaine gets hers. We have some adjusting journal entries, and we'll go ahead and put that on the agenda.
You want these signed now for the 23rd?
Just whatever your practice has been. Elaine signs hers right away and gives it to Debbie. It's up to you. We have a letter from the United States Department of the Interior, dated October 30th, 2015, to the Broadwater County Commission. And what this is, I'm not going to read it. In October, our county is entitled to a PILT payment of $46,204. In addition, your county should have received a PILT payment in June for $542,142. The county's total payment for the fiscal year 2015 PILT payment program is $588,346. What this is Congress split the PILT payments into two, and so this is just the second payment. Back to you, Ann. We also have a handout from the Center for Mental Health on what our mental health clients have been receiving from that service, and there will be more on that here shortly. subject. It's also addressed on a monthly basis at the Mental Health Local Advisory Council. And I should mention that the hospital has a full-time LCSW, which is licensed clinical psychiatrist worker. Do you know what that?
Social worker.
Social worker, thank you. Licensed clinical social worker. We have a letter from the Department of Public Service Regulation, and this is for reviewing some regulations that they have, docket T-1529 COC, and this will be available in the Commissioner's office if anyone cares to review it. We have a calendar for Broadwater County employees regarding their rights regarding paydays. Are you done with these?
Yes.
All right, I'll need that back to put in Anne's pile so she can make copies, Franklin. You're welcome to review it for now. We have claims. These are the approved claims from last week in the amount of $28,072.11.
What was the amount?
28072.11.
I'll make a motion to pay the claims amount as stated there.
Second, the motion has been moved and seconded to pay the approved claims in the amount of $28,072.11. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye, motion carries. Good morning.
Franklin,
Oh, huh?
here's a copy of that letter from the Crown folks regarding the use of tort funds
Oh, okay.
for hospital district that I promised you.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that I don't have a copy of the lease because Cory hasn't gotten it to us.
Oh.
It'll be discussed at the THS meeting this next Wednesday night
Mhm.
up in the hospital conference room.
Okay, well, thank you.
I suppose I should give you a copy too, since I gave one to
Thank you.
this is the letter from the Crowley folks in regard to the Pelt funds.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
And I don't know if Cory has a copy or not, because I just got these two from Kyle this morning.
Okay, we'll be sure he does.
Okay.
Yeah. We're just finishing up mail before we move into public comment.
Sorry,
No, that's fine.
Give me a copy of that, please, Ann.
All right, we are at 4 minutes to 10. We'll go ahead and move into public comment. Do we have any public comment?
Oh, Commissioner Over, I guess I'm a member of the public, and I do have a comment. I'd like to correct an erroneous statement that Commissioner Slifka made at your last meeting regarding inability of the hospital to make payroll. That wasn't really true, because of the fact that if all revenue sources fail, the hospital still has a line of credit and some CDs in reserve for emergencies, if that would happen. I can understand why Commissioner Slifka was confused at the meeting on Tuesday the 27th, where a group of us from Townsend met with 3 loan grant agencies in Helena to work on a loan grant package that had been in the works for some time. And Commissioner Slifka had not been at any of the meetings where we talked about this formerly. So, of course, all the little intricacies of the different groups, what they could help us with and what they couldn't help us with, was all a mystery to him. The county attorney and Commissioner Over had been at the meetings of both of THS and of the district where this had been thoroughly discussed before, and we were kind of aware of how the negotiations would work out. But the reason that we had to get in this meeting in the first place to try to get $1.5 million in loans and grants done was because Medicare and Medicaid has made a drastic change in the way that they are going to reimburse us for Medicare and Medicaid patients. It's going to be based on an outcome rather than a numbers, how many visits. And that means that probably we won't get the money, you know how the government works. We probably won't get that money till 3 months later than what it ordinarily would be. That puts the hospital in a serious crunch for money. And then, of course, the levy that was voted and overlooked and not levied on the taxpayers was $170,000 shortfall right there. That was budgeted into the needs. Another concern was the $400,000 pass-through loan that we got from State Bank. We thought we were doing it right. You know, it looked practical to have the money pass through the commission to the hospital, but the legalese don't think the way we do. So Corey was a little bit uncomfortable about that process. And so this loan that we work with the Helena entities would erase that loan and refinance it at a much lower rate of interest. The delegation that went with Kyle, the administrator of the hospital, and Jenny Klaus, the finance officer, were the chairman of the DHS board, Bill Hubbard, and from the county were Corey Swanson and you 2 commissioners, and myself representing the district. The 3 entities were MCAP, and you help me with this, Laura, the Montana Business Assistance Connection, and the Hospital Association Building Loan Group. Mm-hmm. Now, one of those fellas from MPAC will try to put together all the pieces, and as Franklin and the rest of us were watching bemused, the 3 entities talked among themselves about what pieces each of them could provide. And it was confusing, even to those of us who had a piece of paper in our hands and were trying to follow what was going on. So, Commissioner Slifka, I certainly understand where you might have been a little bit, not only bemused, but confused about what happened. But I would like that statement to be corrected. Thank you.
Thank you, Barb.
Yes, the only comment I have on that is, you probably better instruct the employees over there not to be saying this, 'cause that's where it's coming from.
I
On
didn't
the
quite
payroll.
I didn't
That
quite understand that, Franklin. Would you tell me again?
Well, you better instruct the employees over there not to be bringing these articles up about, the hospital not making payroll. That's where it's coming from.
Is that right? Okay. I'll warn the administrator to talk to his staff about that. Thank you.
Mhm.
I didn't know, where the information might have come from.
I would caution on that, though. I think as commissioners, our role is to dig under rumors to the facts and bring those facts forward in these meetings so that we disseminate factual information. I still would like to hear a retraction, Franklin, because you shouldn't be sharing rumor. You should have asked the questions to get to the facts of what is truly going on, especially after that meeting.
Well, I say, I guess rumors are rumors, but one thing about it, I'm not putting any lies out.
Well, that's exactly why I came this morning, Franklin, was to try to straighten it out for you.
And that first comment I made about the employees, so that's, like I say, there's never been any lies come from me. But there has been a lot circulated.
Well, I'm sorry about that. So I hope from now on that we'll all be better informed.
Thank you for that. Any other public comment? All right, we will move on to Montana Minute. Franklin, do you have something nice to say about our community or our state?
No, everything's doing fine, as far as I know.
All right, I will comment on the success of the community dinner this weekend led by the Lutheran Church, as well as the American Legion Surf and Turf. Again, I salute our volunteers for this community. Does anybody else have any Montana minutes that they would like to share? Anything good to say about our community or our state? All right. Commissioners' Community Update. Franklin, what did you do this week?
I
On
didn't
behalf of the
attend any
citizens?
meeting, other than the commissioner meeting.
All right. The chamber meeting was last week. Chamber is going to be working with the Conservation District on an annual dinner. The Center for Mental Health came and shared some information that is actually contrary to what our deputies are finding in practice. So we have a grant right now, it's a feasibility study, to kind of dive into what the mental health issues are that we're facing right now. Far too many are medicating themselves with booze and alcohol, and way too many are finding themselves locked up in not only our detention center, but others around the state. So we need to get to the bottom of that. We've got a grant that Nicole Brown wrote on behalf of our law enforcement and county attorney's office, and that will be starting some conversations so that we can get into the weeds and figure out what we can do as a solution, if anything. We did have a secondary meeting with the three loaning entities that Barb Kirscher mentioned on behalf of the hospital. One of the things they want to do is refinance higher interest loans for 1.25 interest loans. McKinstry, which does energy contracting for counties, was here. And that is an ability for local governments, schools, cities, counties, and businesses to be able to do things that helps them save money in energy costs and use those savings to actually pay for new windows, better lighting, roof replacement, that kind of thing. We had a safety committee meeting with our brilliant safety committee supervisor. Thank you very much, Brian. Forested Counties meeting, that was a big one. Broadwater County is part of a coalition. It's a 501c3 under the Montana Association of Counties. And we are with other counties in the state in a coalition. What we do is we work with our partners at the national and the state level to help get timber projects going, to help focus on the health of our forests. We work on Pilton SRS payments. So we had an all-day meeting on that on Friday. It was exceptionally positive. And then we also had a commissioner's tour of the detention center last week. Unfortunately, I was the only one able to make it, but also that forayed into bringing a commissioner from Carbon County to tour our detention center. And he will be talking, I hope, with our detention center administrator about bringing Carbon County inmates here. They will pay Broadwater County $65 a day to hold their inmates, which helps, in the end, with funding law enforcement for Broadwater County. So it was a busy week, a lot going on. So with that, we're a little bit early for your appointment, Brian. So, see, we're almost done with mail. I think there were just a few sheets left. These were all last minuters. So in the interest of sharing this was delivered to me by a constituent. And Franklin, I'll just give you a chance to look at these first. These are your driveway. And this constituent is concerned, what he says is this pavement runs 275 feet from edge of highway right-of-way to Franklin's garden. No other approach on this highway is even close to this, taxpayers' expense. So Franklin, I thought it would be appropriate for you to go ahead and maybe share what the truth is on this so that we can set this citizen to ease.
Oh, boy. I know where this comes from. Anyway, when they paved that out there, the gates, and they did this on Johnson Loop. They put gates off, there were gates right at the corner, which were gone from the highway project. They moved them down however far. Now on Johnson Loop, they paved up to that. And the same thing on this one here, they paved up to the edge of where these gates are. And the only thing I heard about was the neighbor lives right across. When the highway guys come later and said, well, this is sore now, but that's what they told him, that the kid laying it out made a mistake. The pavement wasn't supposed to go that far. And the neighbor says, well, that's fine. He says, I wish they'd went all the way. But anyway, oh boy, that's really interesting. I know all about this thing. Yeah.
All right. We have a second set in here that I'll give Ann for the minutes. We also have a letter from Earl and Cheryl Campbell. This is Commissioners Obert Gravely and Salivka with regard to the attached MCA 28701, which is county officers and employees to be bonded. I request a copy of the declaration page of Broadwater County's bond to be provided to me no later than November 20, 2015. Number one, a declaration page should include the name of the surety company, including information the surety company is approved by the state of Montana, the dollar amount for which the bond has been written, information that provides all elected and appointed county officers and employees are covered in the bond, the inception and expiration dates of the bond. I don't know what this is about, but the MCA 2-9-701, county officers and employees to be bonded. All elected and appointed county officers and employees must be bonded for the faithful performance of all official duties required by law. A bond may cover an individual officer or employee, or a blanket bond may cover all officers and employees, or any group or combination of county officers and employees. So we will go ahead and pass that to the county attorney. And then the last bit of mail, as provided by Barbara Kirscher, is from Crowley Fleck, which is a law firm, to Kyle Hopstead regarding PILT funding. And what this is a response to a query as to whether or not the PILT payments that the county receives, payment in lieu of taxes from the federal government for federal lands, essentially their property tax, can be used for the hospital district. The first paragraph, you asked us to address whether Broadwater County may provide payments in lieu of tax, PILT, funds to the county's hospital district to be used by Broadwater County Health Center for its operations. And I won't read this whole letter. It is available for anyone who cares to see it, but the answer, I understand, is affirmative. And I'll just see if I can find that real quick. Again, I don't want to read the whole thing. As a general rule, a government agency such as a hospital district must use its public funds for a public purpose. That would be covered. Let's see, here we go, the very last sentence. Broadwater Health Center admits patients without regard to race, color, or sex, and therefore the hospital district may provide PILT funds to BHC as necessary and convenient to acquisition, betterment, operation, maintenance, and administration of hospital facilities that its board and trustees considers necessary and expedient. And that's signed Stephen Kirkpatrick of Crowley Fleck, PLLP. So with that, we are at 10:15. Brian Holland, Solid Waste Supervisor, monthly update.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have with me today too Tom Austin with Solid Waste Board. Come up as well. As far as the update goes, we have had some equipment problems in the last month. We had to replace the power takeoff on our canister truck, which that truck is about 7 years old. It's got 300,000 miles on it, and that PTO on that thing has probably been engaged or disengaged. I don't know, it's probably 30, 40 times a day ever since it's been new, and it just wore out, so we had to replace that. Shortly after that was done, we noticed we had a radiator leak. Had to replace the radiator on that truck as well. That's the second time the radiator's been replaced on it. It's a newer truck. The radiator's made of plastic. You can't get them repaired like you used to be able to, so you gotta buy a whole new unit every time it has a problem. And basically we've replaced it twice in 7 years, so not too bad of a deal on that. And that is about all I've got as far as equipment goes. Everything else seems to be running fine. We did some canister maintenance work at Raidersburg last week, and that's about it. Just keeping up with the trash. If you can judge by looking in the canisters, it's been a successful hunting season. We've seen a lot of carcasses in the trash, and kudos to those that have done their job there. That brings up the other issue that we want to present to you today. This is a proposal from the Solid Waste Board.
Thank you.
And I've got here's one for everyone.
Thank you.
The board put this together because historically there's been a delay from the time a new construction has been done till it's been assessed solid waste fees on the tax rolls. And that delay can be as long as 18 months if it's not found earlier than that. And we have found in the last year that there's been residential property that has gone years without being assessed solid waste fees. So in order to try to alleviate that, we came up with a proposal for the commission to look at. If you approve of this, we will pass it on to Department of Revenue, and it should help alleviate that problem. What we'd like to do, and we talked with other departments, primarily Jefferson County, where I talked with their manager and asked her how they do it over there, and she says, well, their Department of Revenue office handles it when they see a property that's being constructed on. They assess solid waste fees. I said, you don't have to tell them to. They said, nope, we just do it. So what we came up with is, it says, since the Department of Revenue is locating new construction as part of their typical duties, Department of Revenue staff will begin adding one solid waste unit to a record when a residential dwelling is being added to a parcel. This fee will be added when the residence is at least 50% completed. When adding a commercial structure to a parcel, Department of Revenue will contact the Solid Waste Department to advise Department of Revenue as to how many solid waste units are to be added to that record above the initial unit. When a mobile home or a manufactured home is being placed on a parcel, 1 unit of solid waste fees will be added for each mobile home that is being added. And this will become effective upon commission approval. So hopefully that will bring people on board quicker.
Absolutely.
And allow us to.
Revenue reevaluates property every 2 years now, not every 6 years.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a change.
That's
So-
true.
So things will happen more quickly. At one time, we thought that, septic tank permits might work, but,
People can install a septic tank and it's years before they build a house.
True.
So,
Yeah.
just like
Mhm.
people in our subdivision have drilled wells, but there's no home. But they drilled the wells, so, they're trying to sell their lot. It tells people that they have good water, but they don't have a house built on that property yet.
Based on Jefferson County kind of doing it as they see something getting started, do you expect any pushback from our Department of Revenue with the 50% completed?
I talked with June prior to bringing this up here, and she thought it looked well. Her and I had talked about this previously, and she's informed her supervision about it, so it's not gonna blindside them or anything. And it's being done in other counties. I don't know why it isn't common practice amongst the Department of Revenue, but it just isn't. So,
Yeah, you'd think it would be.
you would.
If it's okay with you, I think this should be on the agenda so that, since it is essentially a policy change, people are aware of that.
That's fine.
Okay, so we'll just add it on next week and then hopefully get it approved then and taken care of.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
any other questions for us?
I don't, do you, Franklin?
Mhm.
All right. Thank you very
Okay,
much. Job well done. Keep it up.
we'll try.
All right. Does this time work for you, Brian? As far
Yeah.
as bringing this back up, I'm just making sure there's nothing
I think
else on 16th. At 10:15
Yeah. that's
again?
fine.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming in, Tom.
You bet.
Thank you, Barb.
You're welcome. I didn't ask if there were any other questions. I guess not.
All right, 10:30, we'll have COS reviews, that's in 10 minutes. If we don't have one, I think Jeremy Carpenter, representative for Zinke Update, canceled this morning, and then we won't have anything until 11. So if we don't have a COS at 10:30, we'll go ahead and recess until 11. Unless there's anything you want to bring up in the next 10 minutes, Franklin, for the good of the order. One thing I think I will do is gonna give Elaine a call and see if hello, how are you feeling? Are ya? Yeah, that's scary. Make sure you call Kristen. Good. Good. So you've got some good eyes keeping an eye on ya. Good. Oh no, this is not something you can help at all. And I'm sorry for bothering you. I'm gonna just put you on speaker for 2 minutes and then let you off the phone if that's okay. Okay, thank you. Are you still there, Elaine?
I am.
The only reason I called in again, I apologize for calling and bothering you today. We have the minutes from November 2015 that were emailed out last week. I did put these to Commissioner Salivka, who will not motion. I didn't even try and ask for a second. He had no comments. Do you have anything at issue with the minutes, or would you?
No, I do not. I
Okay.
make the motion that we go ahead and approve the minutes.
Thank you. I'll second the motion. All those in favor of approving the minutes for November 2015, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
No.
Please let the record show. Commissioner Salivka's opposed.
Paul, I got you both on the phone. I've been thinking about this and thinking about this and comparing it to legislature. I think that all votes, rather, unless they're unanimous, that we ought to have a paper that Ann takes it on and marks it yes or no, and that's with the minutes. Something for you two to think about.
You're suggesting like a roll call vote?
Mm-hmm.
So we're all registered as far as voting for items.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's wise. Yeah, thank you. We'll work together and put something together when you feel better. How's that?
That'd be great. I
Okay.
apologize, guys, but
No, you take care of yourself, and thank you very much for letting me bother you.
not a problem.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Bye-bye. All right, we are 6 minutes from 10:30. And we'll come up with something that doesn't overburden you. And I know that Elaine, with her experience, has some good ideas. Joan, we have 4 minutes till 10:30. You were not here for public comment. Do you have any to add? Okay, all right.
I didn't hear all of what Barb was saying.
She was just refuting something that Commissioner Selipka had erroneously said last meeting. So, yeah, it'll be in the minutes and on YouTube if you do have a chance to watch it there, or perhaps Commissioner Selipka would let you know maybe around lunch. Did I sign those minutes? Oh, good, okay. We've got 1 minute till 10:30. Give them just a few extra minutes just in case they're running late, and then we'll recess. Yeah, I think, it's 10:31. We'll go ahead and recess, until 11 o'clock. Thanks, Ed.